Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's having an awesome Monday so far. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of funny because it's like Monday. It's like, oh my gosh, going to work, and it's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing streaming on Monday morning? Yeah, my work schedule's kind of weird, so sometimes I have the opportunity to get some content in for you guys during the weekdays, especially weekday mornings. So don't be surprised if sometimes you'll get like a random stream come up and it's like 7, 8 in the morning. I'm tend to be an early bird, and yeah, kids are still kind of asleep, so everything's nice and quiet. As you can probably tell from some of my streams from they're towards the evening in the United States, and they're going 1,000 miles an hour. Yeah. All right, so here we are, DFW. I already got everything loaded. We just got a board, and we'll be on our way to Jackson, Mississippi. Nothing in particular. I mean, as far as the reason why I chose that airport, no reason in particular. Just it's kind of part of regional jet flying. You don't really go to a lot of places that are familiar. I mean, you kind of go to those random, out of the way outstations and fly back to, the larger airports and stuff like that, feeder routes and all that fun stuff. So decided to pick something random, and if I can get to, oh my gosh, all right, boarding, there we go. Decided to go ahead and pick somewhere random, so we're gonna go ahead and swing on through Jackson and see what's up. So I already got the APU going, and I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the ground power. That off there. And today we're going to be departing Dallas Fort Worth, runway 17 right, or runway 17R for those of you who are not familiar. With airports and all that fun stuff. Or if you happen to be like looking on a map and it's like, oh, where's 17 right? The only reason why I say that because I've gotten that question. It's like, I don't see, it doesn't say right or left. I'm like, yeah, it does. It's R stands for right and L stands for left, and yeah, you'll be surprised. So all right, yeah, we're just waiting for bags and we'll be good to go. Weather's kind of warm out. It's always warm in Texas, so I'm sure it's warm. I haven't checked the ATIS in the past 15-20 minutes, but I'm pretty sure the temps are warm. I'm gonna try to dial flex temp in this thing. I don't know if it's gonna take or not. I don't even know if that's implemented. Like I said, this aircraft isn't all the way. There's still some issues with it, so it would not surprise me if the flex temperature does not take. Would not surprise me one bit. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's wanting to accept any input, so no biggie. Everything else is somewhat configured. We'll kick our boost pumps on here in a minute when we get ready to push, and our hydraulics and the beacon and all that fun stuff. It should be about finished up with that. Oh, cool. And he's done. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and pull that gate. And we'll also go ahead and close all 15 doors this thing has. Those 2 forward cargo bin doors, it should be shut by now. Alright, cool. Yeah, they're shut. I have my parking brake set now. Now we can unchalk it. Go ahead and unchalk this bad boy. Seatbelt signs on, beacon light on, hydraulic pumps, auto, left and right boost pump on. Alright, should be ready to push at this point. Like I said, we're taking off on 17 right, so we're going to go ahead and when we push, and we're going to be pointing towards the left. Yeah, left, okay. Alright, so left. Nope.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Hopefully my audio is going through. If not, okay, good. Looks like it's going through.
Departure check completed. Live has been inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Alright, we'll verify we're clear on the right. Let's start the right engine. Alright, looks like number 2 is about stabilized. Yeah, looks like she's stabilized right now, so we'll go ahead and make sure we're clear on the left. And start the left engine. And watch our N2. Mm-hmm. 20%. Good air and turbine temp. That's about stabilized. Didn't get any exceedances, so that's good. And looks like N1's lining out right there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw down flaps 8. And so now that we got both engines lit, we don't need the APU anymore, and we're trying to save fuel, so we'll go ahead and turn that guy off. And while we're doing that, let's see if we can snag us the clearance. Alright, park brake set. I don't know what the deal was this morning. I had several issues. I use ForeFlight to for my
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass being removed.
and the safe taxi, not safe taxi, but ForeFlight, and you zoom in on the airport map, and you can use that for like taxi reference. And for some reason, it did not work this morning. So I tried Garmin Pilot because I have Garmin Pilot as well, and that didn't work either. So
Left is clear. Right is clear.
I think it's something with my FSU IPC, so I'm gonna have to look at that here sometime today when I think about it. Oh shoot, is that on? Yeah, recirc. All right, so we're good to go. Go ahead and hit my toga button and set my MCP. All right, cool. Go ahead and taxi. Little brake check. And you know, like I said earlier, this thing isn't um, all the way done. There's still some outstanding issues that they're working on. So, but it's still flyable on my system. I know some people have had issues that are so bad they right now they can't even. It's not even flyable. So. Like I said, so far she's been cooperating somewhat. I know she is kind of off on the on the tracking on your tracking of the airways there still, but we're still on that 1005 Charlie update, and we've been on that for about a week, maybe even 2 weeks. So that kind of tells me they're working on something big. Yeah, I think there's going to be some changes on the exterior model as well, because I don't know if a lot of you have noticed, but the GPU is not in the exact area. I believe it's I don't really work around CRJs enough for it to be just a um, blatant deal, but kind of looking at it and kind of you know going back to retracing my memory, I'm like, I don't think that's right, but could be wrong. I don't know, but I don't think it's right because I've been seeing complaints on the forums about it as well. So, like I said, it looks like they're compiling all the fixes in one go, and hopefully we'll get a big old service pack. Go ahead and arm my thrust reversers. Just in case. into any problems, we can throw those reverses out, the boat anchor, and all that good stuff, and get stopped in a relatively short distance. And I mean relatively. So, alrighty then, let's go ahead and get clearance and get out of here. Hey Riggs, what's going on, man? Yeah, we're gonna try that CRJ one more time. There's really been no big releases on patches or anything, but you know, I'm like, you know what? I mean, I can at least finish a flight in it, so you know, let's just at least take her out a little bit, you know, to kind of brush some of the old dust off there. Of course, we turn on transponder, radar, and all that crap that doesn't work all the way. All right, Toga. Rotate. And we got a positive rate of climb, so gear up. All right, we'll go ahead and bring her back to climb power and start working out those flaps. Gotta get my speed selector dialed in. Always try to. Alright, so throw in my nav mode and get this thing somewhat trimmed out. It is a little bumpy. It's kind of late in the morning, so those thermals are starting to move. Like I said, right now it's about 72 degrees. And it's starting to get bumpy, especially in the heat of the day. Alright, about to start our left turn here in a little bit to a more easterly heading and make our way, start making our way out of the terminal area and head towards Mississippi. Let's go ahead and zoom this guy out. Alright, looks like she is tracking. long haul. Will you pick the 787 when it comes out? Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when I say long hauls, I mean like 5, 6 hours, anything like that. But I'm sure they're going to be their 2.5 hour trips that that thing does. And yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that at all. It's just when it gets much above that, it becomes kind of monotonous to me, at least. All right, 10,000 feet, landing lights off, and we'll pitch for 290 knots. Yeah, I am too. Hopefully that comes out. That comes out pretty soon, and I mean, I'm gonna venture off and say, hopefully by the end of this year, maybe first part, Q1 of next year, we'll see it. Hopefully, bargaining on unforeseens. I think it's in beta already, but then again, I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. All right. But yeah, like I said, this thing isn't, it's getting pretty close. Like I said, I mean, right now people are having like a myriad of issues with it. But I mean, as far as what's going on with my setup right now, I mean, it's fairly stable. It does get to become a little off. It seems I start experiencing the course deviation when I get closer to my arrival airport. It starts to kind of deviate a little bit, but I mean, on climb out, it's rock solid. It's just I don't know. I guess because I don't know. But that's just when I've been. Those are just the instances where I've experienced it. So, like I said, she's still not bad to fly. Not bad to fly at all. And I also noticed the FlySimware just released an the MU2 for P3D version 4. The update is out now, so if you have the FlySimware MU2 for P3D version 3 and FXX, then and also if you purchased it from his store, I believe it's out like now. But if you purchase it from somewhere else, there's always that delay. Like, I bought the MU2 on the FlySimware website, but I did not buy the Lear 3.5 on the website. So the update is already released as well for the Lear 3.5, and I believe the users who have purchased it already, who have purchased it on the developer store already has it. But like I said, if you purchased it from like Sim Market or somewhere like that, then you might have to wait a couple days. But hopefully sometime this week, the other vendors will start getting it. And I just mount my throttles. There we go. There we go. But yeah, it should be a relatively short flight. Let me, okay, that's already on. Yeah, it was 354 nautical miles. And so, especially once we get up to cruise altitude, 35,000 feet, and she lines out, we'll probably do like a 0.72 cruise, 0.74 cruise, depending on how quick we want to get there. The route's pretty straightforward. I posted it in the description as well, but it's pretty straightforward. Nothing too terribly crazy. Gotta love it. I did squeeze in one interesting purchase. I bought the Open LC from Orbx, the land class scenery, and I will say that it's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, it's not. I'm sure it's not 100% accurate. I'm pretty sure there are some errors here and there, but it's actually not that bad. And the Steam sale, not Steam sale, wow. The Orbit sale ends tomorrow, so if you haven't got your FTX Global or Vector or some of their, excuse me, local airport add-ons, I would highly suggest you swing by there sometime today and snag you a copy, because it's, yeah, they put out some pretty good content, some pretty good material. So I think like the FTX Global is like $20 some odd US or $30 some odd US. So I mean, that's not bad at all considering what it used to be or what it will be like tomorrow. I think it'll be full price like 54 or something like that in Australian currency. So like I said, definitely check that out. All right, so we're coming out 27,000. And see, like we just crossed one of our intersections here, and you still see like a little slight deviation right there now, but it's not too terribly bad yet. But like I said, kind of pay attention to that as we get closer to Jackson, and you'll start noticing the deviation starting to kind of widen out a little bit. And it's weird, like she'll kind of, sometimes she'll try to kind of turn and attempt to catch it, but there's the deviation's kind of still there. But then again, like I mean, depending on the age of the aircraft, I mean, you do kind of notice sometimes there's a little, it's not 100% on, like literally right on top of it. Sometimes it'll be kind of catty corner, or especially if you got like a, especially got like a crab or headwind or something, you kind of crab into the wind a little bit, then it'll seem kind of off. So I mean, you won't a lot of times you won't see a solid line here, but when you're all the way out there or something like that, or out here, then it's a little excessive. Okay, coming out of 31,000, so it should be getting our cruise up to shortly, and right now we're at 0.73. So I'll probably bring it down a little bit to about 80%, 85% seems to be a sweet spot with this airplane, and should do about 0.72, 0.74. Coming up 33,000. Even though I don't have traffic on, I'll go ahead and flip on the TCAS, because that does kind of bug me. I can get to come on. If I can get it to come on. To reporting should be on. Let's see. No, that won't do it. Oh, should be 1,000 foot. Oh, cool. 1,000 foot from our cruise altitude, so we gotta kind of watch that just in case, because she will run away from you. Especially right now, we're climbing at like 91% in one. So normally, once you obtain your cruise altitude, you want to keep the climb power in until you get close to your cruise speed, and then you can kind of start easing out the power, and she'll settle in to her cruise altitude. If not, you'll blow right past it and overspeed, and yeah, we don't want to do that. So let's kind of keep our eye on her, kind of watch her here. Looks like she's kind of Man, I wish I could move that because like all the way in the corner. Um, looks like she kind of teeters like just below 34,000. Just kind of plays around there in that little range there, plus or minus 300, which you know is still way off from what we need. So sometimes what I'll do, I'll go ahead and kick her in vertical speed mode, and sometimes that helps her cap it, but it can be she can be temperamental in time. So it looks like she's there. We go. And I'm gonna start walking that power back. See what 82% in one gives me. Alright, so it looks like she's settling out. And no, that is. Looks like she's settling out at 0.76, which is, I mean, that's great. That's a good speed. I mean, we're 271 miles out now, so we should be there in a little less than an hour. You can kind of see I'm turning a little bit, but I know we're going to be making a little left turn to MHZ. Okay, cool. Oh. But yeah, I mean, if you do decide to get her and you start running into problems as far as operation from a, oh my gosh, who keeps messaging me? Oh my gosh, okay. As far as you know, operating it, don't fret. Eventually, I'm going to do a tutorial flight where we kind of spend a little more time getting the airplane set up. I know most of the times I'll already have the flight plan dialed in and everything, and you know, but normally I don't explain the climb phase or cruise descent or anything like that. But I'm waiting for the whole issue with the VNAV and everything to kind of get ironed out, because there are some inconsistencies that I've noticed from friends of mine who are still in this thing, and the whole section here, it's not all the way right. That's when the VNAV advisory mode, not full blown out VNAV, but the advisory mode isn't quite there yet. So I'm not going to do a tutorial on something that's, you know, not finished yet. I'm not gonna say broken, but I'm just gonna say not finished yet. I mean, that's stupid. So so yeah, just right now, you know, if you go ahead, if you do decide to buy it, you know, or pull the trigger or whatever analogy you want to use, you know, just know that, you know, what you see now is not going to be the finished product, and don't lose hope. like I said, they're working on it. I know this is an airplane a lot of people have anticipated, and I think the guys at Airsoft know that by now by some of the some of the forum posts. So I mean, it's coming. You know, it's coming. Hang tight. But you know, like I said, you know, I mean, so far she's doing decent. Now I'm not going to try to do, you know, full blown, you know, Cat 2 approaches or anything using the heads up display just yet with it. But you know, if you got a little, I think have I done? Yeah, I mean, I've done ILS approaches with it, and it's not bad if you're actively flying them, but if you're looking for auto to just come in and yeah, it's um I mean it can be hit or miss at this point with it. So um but you know, like I said, that will be worked on here shortly. But yeah, I mean, as far as the model is concerned, I think the model's on point. I mean, one could argue the fact, oh, you should have threw transparent windows in there. We know we're in 2017 now. Seriously, no. I mean, I I mean, to me, it's not that huge of a deal. But you know, I guess one could argue that the VC does look a little dated. You know, but you know. Well, I think I've explained this in a previous stream that I believe the model was done a while back, and you know, it's just kind of, when I say a while back, I'm pretty sure, you know, maybe a year or two ago, and they, you know, it was like, we're not going to bother with, you know, it's still current model by today's standards, and we're just not going to bother with it. That's just my assumptions. I'm, you know, could be wrong, but just purely my assumption. And I think the textures, you know, that's a pretty simple. I mean, because I've also heard people talk about the textures. I think that's a pretty easy fix. Well, I say easy in terms of, you know, it doesn't require just a full blown, you know, model update. But because I know they have released texture updates like HD textures for the Airbus, and that was just a simple download and copying some texture files. So hopefully this will be the same thing, and you know, eventually once everything gets ironed out, you know, we'll get some better textures as well. I mean, as far as exterior wise though, but I mean the exterior paints, I mean they're coming, and they're looking amazing. This guy here does not come in the original, does not come in the package, but you download it from the Aerosim, not Aerosim, but Aerosoft store. The download section or whatever. And this one's by Steve Draw, and it's, if I'm pronouncing his name right, Draw or Dre, whatever. But yeah, this one's phenomenal, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. Thoroughly enjoying it. And I think my next stream is probably going to encompass some GA. Pull out that MU2 and give her a try. I haven't. It's been months since I've flown the fly somewhere MU2, and with with P3D looking as phenomenal as it's looking, I'm really looking forward to getting her in version 4, my P3D. So that'll probably be my next stream, being the MU2. And eventually, the Lear 3.5. Eventually. I purchased mine from Just Flight, so I know, unfortunately, they tend to lag on the updates a little bit. Yeah, right now she's solid. I mean that's solid. And I mean, like I said, so far, I mean, everything looks good. No course deviations or anything like that. I am going to speed up just a little bit. Part of that whole not having an auto throttle thing, I think the PMDG 737 has spoiled me, and I'm slacking on my scan. Bring it up to A6, and she's creeping up a little bit. I try not to make drastic power changes, especially being up this high. About 197 nautical miles out now, so we'll be starting our descent here in a little bit, just a little bit. Probably about maybe 140, 150. We'll start our descent. And as you can see there, I initially bumped it up to like 86.9%, then it rolled its way up to about 87. But just a gradual increase back to our cruise altitude, and heck, by that time we'll be getting ready to start our descent into lovely old Jackson. And this Jackson's not a huge airport. It's Class C airport. 2 runways, I think 1, 6, and 3, 4 left and right. And yeah, so a small airport. I mean, small in comparison to, DFW or, Atlanta or something crazy like that. But actually, I think that's like the largest airport in Mississippi, which, is Mississippi, so whatever. but it's not bad. Not bad. In fact, I just found this out this morning. There's actually KJAN scenery, or Kilo Juliet Alpha November scenery, that's available for FSX and P3D. And I don't know if it's version 4. I know it looks like it's version 3, but I mean, I don't see it being an issue as far as it working in version 4. But it is out there and available, so in case you guys want some scenery for your outstations. But I did find an interesting trick. You can actually add like buildings and generic buildings, and especially if you have Orbx, because I guess that broadens your the amount of scenery objects that you have available to you. But if you check out, there's actually a guy on YouTube who has a really awesome video on it. And if I can find it, I'll link it afterwards. but has a really awesome video on it, and he goes through the whole process of adding buildings and like grass and stuff like that to your airports in P3D version 4, which is freaking amazing. And the user interface is all GUI, and I mean, you're pretty much like drag and drop your buildings wherever you're. Like, say you got your local airport, and you know there's a hangar on the south end or something like that, T hangar on the south end. So you pull it up, and actually you can access it. I'm not going to do it here, but you can access it from there, and you know, move buildings around. You can't. I don't think you can add aprons. You can't add aprons or anything like that from Sim Director, but you can add buildings, grass, vehicles, I believe people. And what you do, you export it to a you export it from Sim Director, and you export it as a, I think it comes out as a SX ML file or something like that, and then it's super easy to do. Basically, you take that file and you drag it over the BGL compiler, and it spits out the BGL, and you just add it like you do normal scenery. So yeah, it's super easy. And if I can find it, I'll throw it here in the links page. But that's what I've been doing in my off time. So I'll go to, like, you know, I'll find like little outstations here and there, and you know, add some extra buildings, grass, stuff like that, trees. So I thought that was pretty cool. Give me a minute, see if I can find it. Then we'll start our descent, because I'm like way behind right now. Let's see, Sim Director tutorial.
Need to make sure.
Yeah. Right here. And hey, Dimitri, how's it going, bud? Let's see. Alright, here's the Sim Director tutorial down below. Tutorial down below. And yeah, check that out. It's actually, you know, like I said, it's pretty cool to, you know, add some life to your default airport, especially the default ones. Since, you know, unfortunately I feel that, you know, the scenery community isn't as strong as like X-Plane, for example. You know how you get the like with the weed updates or whatever through each version of X-Plane, and there has been a version, an airport in X-Plane that I haven't been able to get, you know, some kind of add-on scenery for it, which is amazing. We're gonna go ahead and descend to 16,000. But yeah, there hasn't been scenery I haven't been able to find yet, and hopefully eventually P3D version 4 will get that way as well. And I really wish they would have had something set up to where, you know, people can like edit their home airports or whatever and then upload it to some kind of server, and you know, it be accessible to everybody, and you know, we can all kind of, I guess, contribute to the cause and have some really nice scenery. But then again, you know, you got to look at the target audience for Prepare 3D, and yeah, so it is unfortunate. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and then try to descend using speed mode for right now, and then we'll probably transition over to vertical speed once we get closer to the terminal area. How did you get that livery? It's on Aerosoft's website on the download section, Dimitri. It is. I'll link it to you here. 1 second. Downloads. And is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. There we go. I'll drop your link. Drop your link, and there you go. Yeah, and that should take you straight to it. And actually, you can add. I believe that livery is addable, if that's a word, addable. I believe that livery can be added using the CRJ livery manager. So just just browse to that zip and run it, and it should be good to go. Should be good to go. All right, let's see. Looks like we're getting pretty close to our destination there of Jackson, Mississippi. 138 miles out, so and zoom in a little bit more. Like I said, I'm not using any special scenery. It's just default scenery, but I am using Orbx Open LC. Which, you know, by the way, you know, just a little advertisement thrown out there. The Orbx sale ends today, so if you haven't picked up whatever you want to pick up from Orbx, I would grab it like today. Like, stop what you're doing, go grab it. That's but yeah, it definitely adds life. I think Flight 1 has like ultimate terrain or something like that, and I mean that's pretty good as well. So. Alright, let's go ahead and update. It's kind of go ahead and update on landing speed. I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure I can look it up, but I don't know the appropriate flap set. I know the normal flap setting is flaps 8, but I don't know if for takeoff. But I don't know sometimes if they land with flaps. Takeoff flaps up. Wait, no, I know the 200. I've seen the 200 takeoff flaps up, but I've never seen like a 7 or 800. I mean, a 7 or 900 do it. So I don't even know if they can. But sometimes I kind of wonder on the V speeds, like you can't see like your flap setting or recommended flap setting or whatever. Not saying that's correct, but you know. As they have stated on their forums, their goal is to provide an experience that is represents a standard operation. So I guess flaps 8 and flaps 40 for landing is standard op. So. All right, 26,000. I'm probably gonna go ahead. I'm gonna add a little power. Just a little power. Crack the power up just a little bit. And to kind of shallow out that descent. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Alrighty. Well, coming out of 22,000 feet. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and use my Garmin Pilot, and let's see if I can pull up ATIS info for Jackson. There we go. 121.05. Okay. We're still quite a ways out. Wait till about 50 out and should be able to get weapon info. Excuse me. Check up the speed a little bit. You know what? I digress. I'm gonna clarify that real quick. Right now we're descending at 250 knots, so we're at 62% and 1. So our airspeed is a direct result of our pitch attitude. So let's say, for example, if we reduce the throttle to heck, I don't know, 40 some odd percent, whatever, then the airplane is going to try to maintain the airspeed by reducing the pitch. So it's going to start nosing over, which also results in a higher rate of descent. So if you want to maintain 250 and but at the same time you need to get the heck down for whatever reason, then you could reduce the power. But just be forewarned, if you idle it, then and it can't catch 250 in a reasonable in a reasonable way, then it's going to nose over until it pulls 250. So that may end up being like 4,000 foot per minute. So and that tends to be uncomfortable. So just kind of be forewarned with that. If you do need to hurry up and get down, or if you got to maintain the airspeed or whatever, then I would probably recommend using vertical speed mode and just idling the engines at that point instead of leaving it up to speed mode and end up in a precarious situation. All right, we're 97 out, so it's pretty good there. Hey, Chatty, how's it going, man? All right, one to go. And we've already crossed 18,000 feet, so we got 301 tree dialed into our altimeter. And go ahead and add some more power. And we'll probably do a visual. I don't know which runway yet. We haven't got close enough to pick up the ATIS, but I'll probably do a visual approach. Manually take over about 10,000 and just fly it. I'll zoom in a little more. What did I say initially? There's a procedure turn into that approach, but we're not going to do that. So 3-4 left. All right, cool. So we'll probably do 3-4 What was that? 3-4 right, 3-4 left. Yeah, okay, 3-4 left. All right, so all right, cool. Make sure there was no written procedure for visual there. Bring a little power. What we're at, 84 miles. Ground speed 300 knots. Okay. Let's try to stay around 250. Not that we're below 10,000. It's just I've been finding 250 be 250 is a good airspeed for me. Normally, especially when you get closer to larger airports, they want you to hurry the heck up. So, you know, right now we'll be rolling about 280, 270, you know, until you get 40 miles out, and then you're, you know, throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, out to hurry up and get slowed down. And then they're still rushing you till you get to your final approach fix, and you know, then you gotta slow down to get to your approach speed. And yeah, that's one thing I like about flying in the South. It's definitely a much more. I found that the controllers are much more laid back in that terms. I mean, plus they don't deal with the volume of traffic that, you know, other centers do. I know DFW can be a little hectic, regional approach, and Fort Worth would be kind of hectic. But then once you go out there and like around Mississippi, Louisiana, and start talking to Houston, and yeah, it's super nice. I mean, in my opinion, it's a really good training environment because you're not just inundated. You can kind of work your way up as far as. Did you have any? Did you have any CTD, or it's now all stable? Raul, I honestly don't have any CTDs. Um, with this particular aircraft, I have heard reports of that. Um, if you are having CTDs, make sure you have that latest package. I think it's the 1.0.0.5 Charlie. Make sure you have that one, and hopefully that fixes your problem. If it doesn't, then what I would recommend is posting your issue on the forums, and let Hans take a look at it for you. Because I guess I've been one of the lucky few. I haven't had too many problems with CTDs as far as the CRJ is concerned. So I'm not going to say it's from from CTD standpoint stable for me, but as far as mature version release, no sir, we're not at that point yet. Not at that point yet. We'll get there, but we're not at that point yet. Hope that Hope that provides a little insight. All right, gonna go ahead and start reducing power. I plopped it back in speed mode, so then I also reduced the spare speed about 240. No problem, man. Anytime. No problem. All right, let's see. I think TPA for this airport is around 2,000. Actually 2,600, 2,700, I believe. So let's go ahead and bring it down to TPA. So do 2,700. Bring the throttles back to increase our rate of descent. Then what we'll do like a left downwind. Actually, should be close enough so we can get some weather info. Let me pull up. I think it was 2105. So let's go ahead and dial that in there. 2105, and I believe this is. There we go. Alright, cool. Okay, cool. So wind's calm. Yeah, cool. My memory serves me correctly. I believe 3-4 is the preferred runway, which it is there. That's what AS is calling for. So that'll be the runway of choice. So we're coming out 11,000 feet. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take her all the way down to TPA at 2,700 feet. And go ahead and make sure we got current, because as you're flying, you're burning fuel. Sometimes if you, and I've noticed this with the 7.3, if you input your landing speeds too early and you don't update them when you get closer to the airport, then sometimes your airspeed can be off, or your given gross weight. So it's something to kind of be mindful of. And we'll start downwind leg here shortly. Try to keep it kind of tight. All right, 240 knots, and let's go ahead and arm those thrust reversers. Roll high, but since I'm by myself, I don't want to worry about it. Have to worry about it trying to turn base to final and all that fun stuff. Alrighty. About 1,700 foot per minute. And let's go ahead and start that downwind leg. Wait for her to decide what she wants to do. Okay, now she decides to turn. There we go. I noticed that last time I streamed this, I put in the heading of, then we were going like 090, 080, something like that, and I put in a heading of like 160 or something, and it tried to turn to the left, and yeah, I was like, what? Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Alright, so we're making that left turn. There's Ross Burnett Reservoir. Coming out of 7,000 feet. And if you're chiming in, guys, welcome, 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 welcome. We're about to begin our approach into Jackson. I want to say International Airport, but it's, yeah. Airport here, a little classy airport here in Jackson, Mississippi. Coming out, it's like, what, 6,000 feet? Cool. And I'm going to go ahead and take those controls. Are trimmed out. She does trim out quite well, thankfully. There's the airport. And we're going to be keeping that downwind leg somewhat tight. Already got our V-speeds dialed in. Winds are calm. I've already went ahead and made sure we're thrust reversers are armed and ground spoilers are armed as well. But I get one quick outside shot of the flying pencil. 4,000 feet. We'll go ahead and start walking this power all the way back. Kind of zoom in so you can see it. It's not much there at all. Like I said, if you are interested in some scenery for Jackson, there is some available. Surprisingly, I didn't know that, but there, but there is. Alright, so we're about 1,000 foot to go there. So I'm going to go ahead and start my base leg. I really didn't want to prolong my downwind leg too much since I wanted to keep it tight but not too tight. And landing lights on. Seatbelt signs auto. And actually my gate is off of 3.5 right. I mean 3.4 right, I believe. So I'm just going to go ahead and sidestep on over to 3.4 right. And go ahead and throw them gear down. Trim her up just a little bit. That's one thing I do like about this airplane. she responds very quickly to flap application.
1,000.
So let's keep that power in. I would have loved to for those gauges to be a little bit more visible, but
400.
I have to zoom out a little bit.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
All right. Little forward pitch there. Hold the nose down. Burst is engaged on the brakes. Section 60 knots. Reverses out. I didn't make that exit, but no biggie. No biggie. Let's see if I can multitask here and at least get the activate the APU. All right, door open and turn on the APU. And I'm gonna kick in a little power, expedite taxi down here so we can hurry up and clear the active. There we go. Landing replay, please. Sure. 1 second here. Alrighty. Hopefully we don't have any trees blocking it. No, gotta go a little further back. 120. There we go. Sorry for that background sound there. It's from the APU running, I believe. I know some airplanes you can see the reverses deploy, but some don't. And there is no wing view. Sorry. I got the landing gear view there, but I'm not just a ginormous fan of it. All right. But yeah, people have brought up the issue of like, okay, why are there no wing views? And they have argued the fact, I'm not gonna say argue, but but their response was, well, you're not flying from the wing, so why would you want to see a wing view? But you know, I think that kind of adds to the experience for a lot of simmers. Because you know, I mean, of course you can't do it in the real world, but I mean, we're not in the real world, right? We're, you know, in flight sim, so you know, wing views would have been nice, but hopefully they have a change of heart and decide to add them, because that would be nice. I mean, this view here is cool. I mean, that's fine. Let me go ahead and clean the airplane up, but I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, you know, as I've said time and time again, I mean, it's not all the way there, but you know, what aircraft is, you know, in the first release, could it have been in a little bit better state? Sure, you know, I'll agree with you on that, but you know, for the most part, you know, I'm able to successfully complete a flight. I mean, we just flew from Dallas Fort Worth to Jackson, Mississippi, roughly about 300 some odd miles, and didn't have too much of an issue. You just got to stay on top of her. You know, like I said, the autopilot's still kind of quirky, so you got to stay on top of her. And you know, if you have to, just fly the airplane. So. Hopefully that answered some lingering questions that we know were out there. Hopefully. And you know, as soon as Aerosoft puts out a new release, then I'll be sure to snag it and try it out for you guys. I don't mind being the guinea pig. Don't mind being the guinea pig at all. But I mean, I'm enjoying it. You know, we've been desperately needing a CRJ for quite some time, and I'm glad they finally got us something out where we can make those short runs. She doesn't quite taxi. I mean, well, I am kind of heavy, so I mean, I'll have to admit, but she doesn't quite taxi on idle thrust. I mean, well, she does a little bit, but you still kind of have to bump the throttles just a hair to stay rolling. And pardon the noise there in the background. That's my 2-year-old who decides to move his table into my office and wreak all kinds of havoc. So those of you who have kids, you know what I'm talking about. All right, we'll go ahead and take this gate here and shut her down and call it good. Don't you love these default weird gates here? But wait a minute, I'm sorry, I'm not going to complain because, you know, I do remember a time there were no gates. So you definitely had to use your imagination unless you had default scenery. Alright, go ahead and throw that guy down and kill 2 and kill 1. Go ahead and turn off those pumps. Beacon off. Seatbelt sign off. Boost pumps off. Go ahead and open that door. Make sure the railing is down for the gate. Call the gate up. Turn those off. Let's see. Pitot off. That off. And there you guys have it, ladies and gentlemen. CRJ-900 from AKRacing. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, of course, you guys know my spiel. Please be sure to leave it in the comment section. If you like what you see, please hit me subscribe. That'd be awesome. I really would appreciate it. And yeah, man, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to stream and talk with you guys. So till next time, you know, if you can't be good to yourselves, please be good to each other. And you guys have a great rest of your Monday and enjoy that eclipse if you don't have glasses, don't look at it because you don't want to go blind. All right, guys, take care. Bye.